let's say you are presented with a circuit that is as intimidating as this one. And the question is simply asking you to figure out to unlock the value of V naught, right? And you're like, how will I be able to solve V naught in such a messy circuit? And the concept is that this entire messy circuit can actually be reduced to this if you properly use Thevenin theorem. Okay, so if I draw two terminals around this, okay, and one of the things I want you to understand in Thevenin theorem is when should I leave the resistor in and when can I take the resistor out? Okay, for Thevenin theorem, if you can confidently answer this question and get this step right every single time, I can guarantee you with greater than 90% confidence that you will always get Thevenin theorem right. This is the biggest issue that students encounter when it comes to Thevenin theorem. Now, the idea is that this V naught is appearing across a resistor which is 8 kilo ohms. If I'm calling the voltage across this 8 kilo ohm resistor as V naught, does it make sense for me to call this 8K resistor as R naught, right? V naught is associated with R naught, the current through is I naught, the power drop in it is P naught, and so on and so forth, right? This is basically my output resistor, okay? Now, I want to simplify, please pay attention to this, because this age-old question of Wasim, should I leave the resistor in or should I take the resistor out, is solved by framing the, paraphrasing the same question by asking yourself, what is connected, okay, to this particular resistor? Okay, what is external to this resistor? All right, what is it that I'm trying to simplify from the standpoint of this resistor? When you ask a question like that, then basically all of this stuff is what you're trying to simplify, correct? Can you guys see this? Now, if I can simplify everything that is captured in this blue bubble, okay, if I can simplify everything into one voltage source, which I'm going to call VOC or VThevenin, connected in series with just one resistor, which I'm going to call as R Thevenin, then from the standpoint of the terminals, this is that extra blue stuff that I bubbled. And now I can bring in my 8K. The fact that I'm saying that now I can bring in my 8K resistor means that you actually have to remove it if this was your load resistor. If this was the resistor that defined the terminals with respect to which you were seeing the rest of the circuit. Is this clear? I've got this small request for you. 77% of you watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. That's a massive number. If this video is helping you out in any shape, way, or form, please do me a quick favor. Please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you will not miss out on any content that we've got planned, and it really supports the channel. That's how you have to think about Thevenin theorem. That's how you have to think about whether you need to keep the resistor in or whether the resistor can go out. All right. Now, there are some steps involved, but the steps are fairly simple. In our pursuit of figuring out what VOC or VThevenin is and what R Thevenin is, we just have to follow a systematic approach. The systematic approach is step number one, the crucial, where 90% of the mistakes are probably made. Identify and isolate the circuit and terminals for which Thevenin equivalent is desired, right? So if I have a load resistor across which I want to find I naught, or through which way I want to find I naught, or across which there is a voltage V naught, then I gotta define those terminals as A and B, okay, across it. Does it make sense? Which basically means that this guy has to be out of the picture for a little while until I go through the steps of finding my VThevenin and my R Thevenin. Okay, how do I find my R Thevenin? Stepwise approach, not explicitly given in the reference handbook, but one that you are expected to know and apply properly. R Thevenin is calculated by looking in through those terminals, and we're going to do a couple of examples, right? Eliminate the independent sources. So elimination of a voltage source means shorting that voltage source, right? Replacing that with a wire. Eliminating a current source means opening that current source by removing it and leaving an open circuit between those two terminals where it is connected. Okay, and then figuring out the equivalent series or the equivalent parallel arrangements as it may be. When we are calculating VThevenin or VOC, the way we go about it is that we look in through those terminals and we basically need to figure out the open circuit voltage between these terminals. right? What is the difference in the voltage between this and this while leaving the circuit elements inside? And that again is nothing but maybe 1 or 2 step exercise using maybe KCL or maybe KVL. That's it. So there is nothing new in Thevenin theorem outside of just realizing what we're trying to do in terms of circuit simplification. Because KCL, KVL will do the bulk of the work as far as circuit analysis is concerned. Your job is just to keep your eyes on the prize, setting up the Thevenin equivalent voltage and the Thevenin resistance properly. And when everything is said and done, you have these two guys, then you can bring in the resistor. And if the question is asking or starting out with the terminals only, and you don't care about what this guy is, right? The question gives you 2 terminals and says that between these 2 terminals A and B, create a Thevenin equivalent circuit for me. Is there any resistor you have to remove then? No, because the 2 terminals are defined and the question is simply asking for simplification of the rest of the circuit. So let's say if there were 2 terminals that were shown over here and there was no resistor and this was just, these 2 terminals were brought out like this, right? And there's no resistor, would you be forcefully removing any resistor? Like, would you feel the need to actually remove a 9K just because oftentimes we end up removing a resistor, right? No, the first step is already taken care of. Like, you don't have to identify where your load is. The load is going to be connected to the right hand side of these 2 terminals. And you don't care what that load is. And I'll explain you with the help of an example. Okay, so take a systematic approach, guys. It's not that difficult. Trust me. So Thevenin theorem is not that difficult. You just, like with everything else we've been discussing so far, you have to take a methodical approach. That's it. All right. When you look at this example, do you think that there is a resistor that needs to be taken out? Right? The question is simply expecting you to simplify the circuit using Thevenin theorem. The 2 terminals are provided. Once I simplify this, I can add any resistor, any load, or I can short these terminals if I want to, right? So there is no RL that needs to be removed. Pretty simple and straightforward, okay? So what is it that I need to do? Follow those steps, figure out R Thevenin. So I'm gonna look into these terminals, correct? I'm looking into these terminals in search of my R Thevenin, and the steps are open circuit, current source, not mentioned in the handbook, short circuit, the voltage source, okay? When I open circuit the 2 amps, remember there used to be a 2 amp over here, open circuit it removed. There used to be a 32 volt battery source over here, short circuit removed. Now what you see over here is a 4 ohm in parallel with the 12 ohm, right? In series with the 1 ohm, okay? Another way to think about it is that if terminal A and terminal B are the ones through which I'm basically looking into, let's say this is the I, right? If a current is sent in, it will encounter 1 ohm resistor as it is, and then it is going to branch out. When the current branches out, it is basically going to encounter a parallel arrangement of 4 and 12, correct? So that is basically my R Thevenin, all right? So R Thevenin, fairly simple, just need to do a OC and just need to do a SC over here. The next step is pure circuit analysis using the techniques that we are already familiar with, KCL or KVL. I need to figure out a voltage between A and B. Remember, there is no connection between A and B, it's not a closed loop. So if there is no current flowing through the 1 ohm resistor because there's a big open circuit, there is an infinite amount of resistance. If there's no voltage drop across 1 ohm resistor, the voltage at this point and at this point, is it going to be any different? No. So the A, point A or VA can actually travel from here to here, because if you think about it, right, the voltage across the 1 ohm resistor, if I'm writing the equation for the voltage drop, is equal to what? It is simply equal to the current that is flowing through the 1 ohm resistor multiplied by the resistor itself. The current that is flowing through the 1 ohm resistor is 0. 0 times 1 is equal to 0. So the delta V, or the voltage drop across this, is 0, which basically means that VA, so Vx, let's call it Vx, Vx minus VA is equal to 0, which basically means Vx, which is the voltage on the left-hand side, is equal to VA. Does it make sense? So again, a very basic, simple concept to understand, but one that sometimes confuses students. So because there is no current flowing through the 1 ohm resistor, this voltage is basically the same. So VA is actually this voltage over here. Is there any impedance or any block of circuit like a resistor or a voltage source or a current source in between these terminals? There is nothing. So basically the VA is the same voltage that is here, right? So you can see how the VA is basically traveling across without any issues. And the VA is not the same as the voltage over here, okay? In circuit analysis, one of the things that I've told you guys is that you can always throw a virtual ground. By throwing a virtual ground, in this case, at the bottom of the circuit, what I'm forcing is that VB is equal to 0 volt, right? So let me actually draw this circuit out, and you're going to see how simple this circuit has become by just simply making a couple of observations. I have 4 ohms over here. I have 12 ohms over here, right? And I have a 2 amp current source over here. And then I have a VA over here. And then this is a ground and my VB is equal to 0. From the get-go, the voltage that we are interested in is VA minus VB, is the Thevenin. Okay. VB is equal to 0. So Thevenin is simply equal to VA. That's basically what I'm after, right? Now I'm going to start putting some numbers to it. 32 volts. This is 12 ohms. This is 4 ohms. And this is simply 2 amps. So if I'm writing a KCL, and KCL is the preferred, basically the tool, circuit analysis tool that I've recommended in my program, is this is very easy. So if I'm assuming the directions as shown over here, current entering here, I1, right? This current is I2, and then 2 amps is obviously entering over here. So the only current that is entering is 2 amps. So 2 amps, sum of all the currents entering should be equal to sum of all the currents that are leaving. So 2 amps over here, and the two currents that are leaving are VA minus 32 volt divided by 4 ohms plus VA minus 0 divided by 12 ohms. So this is VA minus 32 divided by 4 ohms, and this is VA minus 0 divided by 12 ohms. I only have one unknown over here, one equation. I'll solve it and it will give me the value of 30 volts. Okay. So this is pure math. Simple KCL over here and simple circuit analysis. Now, when I go to the actual Thevenin circuit, right? Now what I can do is that I solved everything that was in between the terminals, right? To the left of this circuit. And what did I get? A resistor, R Thevenin, that was like this, and a Thevenin. Now I can bring in any load resistor, variable resistor, and I can connect to it. No worries in the world, right? Because a simplified circuit is this guy. Okay? If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. On a weekly basis, I'm creating content for FE electrical and PE power exam preparation. I also discuss topics related to electrical engineering with a focus on power systems engineering. If you'd like to learn more about my FE electrical and PE power exam preparation programs, please visit my website, studyforfe.com.